Shalom, shalom. Shalom, family. Back at it. Exhortation, Motivation. Volume 17. Does the black community value life? Right? If you watched the last Cold Brew Sunday Live, we went into a video review. Right? We're just going to continue with that. Right? First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory and praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. That's the Most High God of Israel, His only begotten Son, for the world calls Jesus Christ. And I want to give another mighty shalom and shout out to all the elders from the house of David, double honors. I'm going to give another mighty shalom to all the brothers, all the brews out there in the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the Lord to their best of their ability. And I'm going to give another mighty shalom and shout out to the women and children that's praying, fasting, giving alms, keeping the commandments and the faith of the Black Messiah. I don't got no special announcements and nothing like that. So I'm going to just jump right into it with a precept. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord, Yahweh Most High, came unto me, saying, also, thou son of man, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, unto the land of Israel, an end, that end is come upon the four corners of the land. So the Most High said, the end is come. Yes, indeed. The end is come upon the four corners of the land. Verse 3, now is the end come upon thee, and I will send my anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. So we have to understand that in these last days, if we don't get right, the Lord will judge us according to his anger, according to our abominations, according to our sins, right? He's going to judge us, and he has every right to do that. But verse 2 is the point, that end has come upon the four corners of the land, right? It's not the time to be slackening your studies. It's not the time to be dwelling in your sins. Woe is me, spirit, right? It's time to buckle up, put the pedal to the metal, regroup, recharge, reevaluate yourself, examine yourself, get right, or you're gonna die, man. You see all the signs of the times passing. You see World War III rising. You see the U.S. economy is about to crash. You see the BRICS alliance forming together to go against the U.S., the whore, right? You see the pestilence. You got the BF, bird flu, right? You got civil wars about to rise, and you got mass shootings, right? You got this wicked, corrupt government. You got this election coming up, about to have a damn convicted felon in office. Like, the end is near, man. And crime is at an all-time high. And STDs is also at an all-time high, man. You check out the stats for Houston in this past week, is ridiculous, man. So there's all manner of wickedness going on the earth, man. The four corners, right? And the end is come. The end is come. You got earthquakes. You got damn floods. You got damn 900 Muslims dying because of the damn heat. The Lord is sending judgment on all nations, and it's gonna start with us first. Let me get to this first current event, though, through the Spirit. Jump right into it. Fair use. Fair use.
This week, we saw a number of massive stories that were once again ignored by the mainstream media, from the BRICS nations shaking up the financial system to major geopolitical movements involving Russia, China, and Saudi Arabia. Putin calling for peace, and NATO crapping all over it, saying, no, we don't want your peace. Take your peace and shove it. We want more war.
So this is not a peace proposal.
To Biden shaking hands with Zelensky, agreeing to fund Ukraine for another 10 years, 10 more years, billions of dollars, while America crumbles. Yes, we're going to send billions to the most corrupt government in Europe.
I think Zelensky is maybe the greatest salesman of any politician that's ever lived. Every time he comes to our country.
Do you want to know the secret to winning more plays and beating the books? Forget about playing parlays.
$60 billion.
The winds of change are blowing strong right now, so buckle up because we're going to dive deep into all of this tonight. So let's start with the transformative events recently announced by the BRICS nations. Now, if you're not familiar with BRICS, it started, as the name suggests, as a loose economic and trade partnership between Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And now it's exploded, becoming a powerhouse, creating their very own currency away from the US dollar dominance. And countries are racing right now to join the BRICS coalition and ditch the US dollar. Well, we have two huge BRICS stories this week. First, BRICS announced a new payment system that directly challenges the dominance of the US dollar in international transactions. No more SWIFT system. Guys, the currency part of it is one thing, but the infrastructure to settle transactions is now out of US hands. This move marks a significant step away from the dollar-centric global economy that we've been knowing for decades. Even more shocking is the end of a 50-year agreement between the United States and Saudi Arabia, which required the export of oil exclusively in US dollars.
Saudi Arabia has officially ended its 50-year petrodollar agreement with the United States, shifting to a multi-currency system.
So on June 9th, 2024, just a few days ago, this agreement officially ended. That's right. Saudi Arabia officially said bye-bye. The Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, has chosen not to renew the partnership with the United States, opting instead to open Saudi oil trade to other countries and other currencies. Hello, China. Hello, Russia. I mean, holy smokes, guys. I mean, I can't understate how big a deal this is.
So having Saudi Arabia, the backbone of the petrodollar, join BRICS. Oh, I mean, you couldn't make up a bigger slap in the face. I can guarantee you they are not feeling very good right now in Washington, D.C.
This is a massive blow to the status of the US dollar as the world's only reserve currency, a position it has held for 5 decades. Now, we've been warning for months that this was about to happen, with Saudi Arabia now joining China's central bank digital currency project. We are witnessing a seismic shift in the landscape of global trade and global finance. The era of the US dollar as the sole superpower currency is officially over. And this is not hyperbole. US dollar dominance is now over. Liberals can try to spin it any way they want, but you're not stupid. And none of those fawning members of the Biden press corps are going to ask the White House about it. They're too stupid to understand how big a deal this is. Last week, U.S. Congressman Thomas Massie appeared on Tucker Carlson's show with an unfiltered breakdown of what's happening to the U.S. dollar. He didn't hold back.
At some point, they're going to quit using our dollars as reserve currency. I mean, I watched your interview with Putin, and one of the things, whether you hate him or not, one of the things he said that is true is when we sanctioned him, before we sanctioned Russia, 70% of their transactions were in US dollars. And after the sanctions, it's less than 20% of their transactions are in US dollars.
As Massie points out, every time the US government introduces a new economic sanction, the world moves one step closer to de-dollarization. The same thing is happening right now with the US government's microchip battle against China. The same thing is happening with AI and electricity with China. The United States has to basically double our electricity output just to compete with China on the AI and microchip front. President Trump just admitted this.
And the electricity needs are greater than anything we've ever needed before to do AI at the highest level. And China will produce it because they'll do whatever you have to do, whereas we have environmental impact people, and we have a lot of people trying to hold us back. But massive amounts of electricity are needed in order to do AI. And we're going to have to generate a whole different level of energy.
We've fallen so far behind China, it's disgusting. Saudi Arabia is also considering full BRICS membership later this year and is expanding its oil trade to include more countries and currencies. This is a direct threat to the petrodollar system that has propped up the U.S. economy for decades. But the BRICS shockwave Doesn't stop there. Something seismic happened on June 10th and the 11th at the BRICS foreign ministers meeting. 59 new countries announced plans to join BRICS. I mean, what? 59 new countries? And during the meeting, they agreed to an astonishing $78 billion in bilateral trade deals. Yes, they publicly announced plans to ditch the US dollar also at this meeting for local currencies in cross-border transactions. So they made this announcement. We're done. We're done using the US dollar. This is game over, folks. Russian President Putin laid it out this week.
One of the greatest mistakes of the United States is they're prohibiting from using dollar as in international payments and using it as a tool, and they're simply undermining the trust towards dollar. It's ridiculous. They should have taken care of the dollar and to preserve it and to raise its profile and its standing. They're simply killing it off with their own hands.
Putin knows exactly what he's doing, allowing these developing countries to start moving away from the US dollar, stop being bullied by the United States. Oh boy. President Biden's foolish sanctions against Russia have turned the world against the US dollar. And China knows exactly what's coming. That's why they've been dumping US treasuries like a bad habit.
And we're also sending a really clear signal, which is the dollar's not safe for you.
Right.
That's the reserve currency because it's a safe haven, because it's a stable country. It's the most stable country in the world, and we're not going to weaponize the dollar because that would be shooting ourselves. But suddenly we are.
This BRICS system seeks to eliminate the global dominance of the US dollar, creating a payment system using local currencies that is free from US sanctions and outside political pressure. And now that NATO has rejected Putin's peace agreement to end the war in Ukraine, we are in for a totally different world over the next few years.
So, you see what's going on in the world today. So what that means, basically, I'm gonna just sum it up. With the de-dollaration, these countries are gonna start using their own currency, right? For trade, for hot commodities, for natural resources, right? And when you take a look at the United States, right, we don't have much natural resources, right? We don't have much commodities to export to these countries because United States is a country that import things, right? Import food, right? Import oil, gas, energy, metals, electricity, technology. We get all that from other countries, right? And also with this could lead to inflation, right? And interest rates. This is really bad for the United States. All praises to the Most High. Let's get a precept. This is the book of Genesis, right? Chapter 47, verse 15. This is the time of Joseph. And when the money failed in the land of Egypt, right? Today, we are in spiritual Egypt. Just look at back of your dollar bill, right? Read it on. And in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph, right? Spiritually today, right? All the people is going to run to China. All the people is going to run to Russia. All the people is going to form an alliance with the BRICS nations. Why? Because they're going to hold and gain and control most of the natural resources, right? Most of the commodities, most of the necessities, right? To run a community, run a country, to sustain a country, right? Read it on and said, give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. You see that? The United States is going to die, is going to crumble, right? And they're going to have no choice but to go to war, right? Because war generates its money, right? They're going to have no choice but the taxes. They'll have no choice to bump up the rent, right? Bump up your insurance payment, bump up anything they can, right? Because why? Their money is going to fail, right? So I don't got too much current events. I just wanted to bring that out, right? So things like property, real estate, things like that, right, are high in value right now. Not no damn dollar bill. It's just a piece of paper. It's not backed by anything, by gold or silver, right? That's why in that movie, what is it called? Blow. My son was talking to his father and he said, "Oh, this money, all that you got is fake." Now I understand why he said that. A few years later, right? All praise to the Most High. Let's get into this video real quick. All right, y'all remember. So the title is, "Does the Black Community Value Life?" Now, when you look at the Black community today, do we really value life? Do we value life when we killing each other? Do we value our life when we pollute and poison ourselves with cigarettes, black and milds, right? Indoor weed, right? Do we value our bodies when we have promiscuous sex, catching STDs, STIs, right? Do we really value ourselves when the hatred is at an all-time high in our communities, right? Crabs in a barrel. Got the crackheads. You got homelessness, right? You got robberies, armed robberies. Do we really value life? We got the damn rap culture, man, that's talking about nothing but murder, guns, drugs, women, strip clubs, and material things. Nothing about life. Nothing that sheds light, right, for the Black Hispanic community. It's all darkness, death, right? Let's get this precept. This is the book of Jeremiah. And this is our people right here. Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 3. "And death shall be chosen rather than life." Right? We were speaking to a brother a couple weeks ago at camp. He said, "Nah, man, I ain't gonna talk to y'all because why would I? When I'm just gonna stop talking to y'all, I'm not gonna listen to y'all and just continue my life. Continue in sin." That's what he said. Why would I talk to y'all, listen to the Bible when I know I'm gonna go back to my filth? He chose death. He don't even want to change. And that's wrong with our people, man. They're scared to change. Reading on. "By all the residue of them that remain of this evil family." We become an evil family. Right? Let's get another precept. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 15. Isaiah 28:15. "Because you have said, we have made a covenant with death." That's what our people has done. They made a covenant with death. They love death, man. They love the damn hood, man. They love living in these damn apartment buildings, houses stacked up on top of each other. The AC barely work. You gotta put a damn dirty fan in your window. You got damn roaches, you got damn mice all in your house, right? You don't care. As long as you cop that little Nick bag, you got your little $10 bottle of Henny, you good. You made a covenant with death, right? You don't want to go to work. You don't want to get a 9 to 5. You want to get a pack, hit the block, stand on the street all day, pants below your ass. You didn't even brush your teeth. You just smoked a nasty cigarette. Breath stinking, right? Sisters don't even want to try to get a job. They want to be strippers. They want to be OnlyFans, Instagram models. Right? They made a covenant with death. Read it on. "And with hell are we at an agreement," right? Just have no type of hope, no type of faith, no type of drive or ambition to be better in life. All right, let's get into this video before I go on a rant.
A lot of people in the Black community are starting to realize that there is absolutely nothing wrong with a normal 9-to-5 job. But for those who are still stuck in the ghetto-like mentality, hard work just doesn't pay off. Politeness is considered a weakness, and being a scammer, stealing, and selling drugs gives you the upper hand. But this is also a trap. People are throwing their lives away, and for what? Just think about the hood cycle of violence for a moment. How often do you think a gun gets drawn? Look at the hood crime rates: assault, rape, robbery, murder, burglary, theft. The list goes on and on. Based on the latest data, property crimes have gone up. While drastically increased during the pandemic, there was a 6.1% year-over-year decline in non-negligent manslaughter and murder in 2022.
Most people have no.
So you see that? People want to be scammers, jack boys, right? They want to steal and deceive your own people, man. Why you don't steal and deceive from the white man? He the one that damn stole us, right? Put his own damn cargo slave ships and brought us over here to this land of death. Why you don't go steal and rob for them? Why you gonna steal from your own brother that look like you, right? That's trying to prosper just like you, right? It doesn't make no sense. Let's continue.
Over 75% of murders were done with a firearm. Out of the 5 states in the United States considered to be the most dangerous, 2 of them are located in the South. Let's talk about the Black male homicide epidemic. For many years, gun violence has had a drastic impact on Black communities. It has tens of thousands of people and injured hundreds of thousands. And who dies the most because of gun violence? Young Black men. In 2022 in Philadelphia, 1 in every 67 Black men ages 18 to 24 was killed or injured by gun violence. In Rochester, New York, it was 1 in 50, and in Cincinnati, it was 1 in 44. Most shootings in these cities and in similar communities across the country are committed by a very small number of people, but their effect lingers and spreads across the entire country. It has traumatized so many young women and men that we are going to feel its consequences for the years to come. Here's what the numbers say. Leading cause of death of Black men, homicide. The average age of most victims of firearm homicide, 18 to 24. Which cities have experienced the most disproportionate gun homicide? Philadelphia, Detroit, Chicago, St. Louis, New Orleans, and Baltimore, all of which have a large, segregated, and disadvantaged Black community. Just look at the number of deaths of rap musicians. Tupac Shakur, Nipsey, Takeoff, PNB Rock, Lil Snoop, all of them died at such a young age, and shooting was the most common cause of death. For the common folk, scamming, stealing, and selling drugs is a big business, but it almost always ends badly. So let's say that people do get a lot of cash. In most of these cases, even if they end up making a huge pile of money, many of them end up spending it on jewelry, designer clothes, shoes, fast.
All right, let me bring out this preset. Talking about homicides, murders. Bear with me. All right. Hold on. I think I like this in a different translation. All right. This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 2, verse 26. Abner shouted to Joab, right? These 2 Israelites, these 2 Jews. Aren't we ever going to stop killing each other? Right? And that's how I feel, man. Are we ever going to stop killing each other? Read it on. Don't you know that the longer we keep on doing this, the worse it's going to be when it's all over? Right? We damn near about to exterminate our damn selves. We doing the so-called white man's job, killing each other, right? He don't need to poison our food no more, or our water, right? Or put fast food in our neighborhoods, right? He don't need to hit us with the damn jab shot, right? If you know what if you got an ears to hear, you know what I'm talking about with the jab shots, right? Right? He don't got a damn drop drugs in our neighborhoods no more because we killing ourselves. Right? Read it on. When are you going to order your men to stop chasing their own relatives? When is the gang leaders gonna tell, or when is the old heads, their parents, right? If their parents in their life, when are their the damn rap stars, right? Who they look up to, right? No brothers in the hood don't got no role models. They look up to these rap stars and these artists, right? When are we gonna have a stop the violence campaign? Stop killing each other campaign, right? That was 2 Samuel chapter 2, verse 26. Are we ever going to stop killing each other in the CEV? All right, let's get back to the video. So like it.
Cars, clubbing, drinking, doing more drugs, and so on, all so they can flex. But the concept of saving money seems to be non-existent, especially for rappers. Every famous person who has become rich owns big chains and starts splurging. They want to maintain their image by any means necessary. They buy grills and watches that cost more than your house. Rings and bracelets so flashy, you can see them from a mile away. Many other cultures, on the other hand, are afraid that they could lose all their money. So they start investing them in other opportunities or ventures that can help them maintain their financial independence. Materialism is a big thing in the Black community, and that is completely understandable. We live in a materialistic society where displays of wealth are something that is constantly being promoted. People can display their wealth in a lot of different ways, but more often than not, the ghetto Black culture takes its inspiration from rap, hip hop, and the entertainment culture. What we have ended up seeing
So it's heavy, man. We're not doing the right things with our money, right? And that's a problem. It says that, and annually, yearly, the black people, not even including the Hispanics, we spend $3 trillion a year on bullshit. We could start our own damn country with $3 trillion annually, man. Right? Check this out. The average Black household net worth is $27,000. The average white household is $250,000. Right? I'm gonna let y'all meditate on that. Let's finish the damn video, man.
Over the last 30 to 40 years are ostentatious displays of wealth in the form of designer clothing, gold chains, and luxury cars. In a sense, if you want to show the world you are wealthy, you need to buy something that everyone knows is expensive. This is a free society, so people of any race, background, and religion should wear whatever they like. But if you are spending your entire life savings just to maintain a certain image, that's when things can get out of control. Luxury was created to keep you poor. All these rappers and influencers spend their money to look like they have money. Wow.
You see that? It's funny how we spend our money on these brand names, right? And these brand name owners are Caucasian sodomites. Most of them are sodomites, right? Gucci, Louis, the damn Fendi, the damn what else? Amari, this dumb Italian European wear, man. Right? We spend thousands of dollars on your oppressors' clothing, and they probably don't wear their own clothing. They stacking their bread up. They buying land. They buying houses. Right? They investing in stocks. They buying yachts and boats and islands. And what we buying? A damn box of Dutchess. It's not funny, but it's funny, man. You buy damn Jordans every week. You buy damn 10 pairs of Amari jeans. Damn buy the Gucci belt, the Gucci jacket, the Gucci sneakers, right? The Gucci hat, the Fendi belt, the Fendi sweater, the Amari shirt, the chains, the watches, and just spending money on bug. While the white man is just racking up the yicken, just racking it up. Let me just continue, man. Basically, the black community do dumb stuff with our money, man, instead of investing it, right? Instead of giving back to the community, building schools, right? Building a grocery store, right? Getting a farm, things like that, right? Starting our own businesses, our own damn, we could, what, 3 trillion annual, we could have our own damn gas stations. Let me just continue.
Real investors who plan their expenses spend their money to make more money. Let's just take a moment and look at the black.
Exactly. The only time the black man spend more money to make more money is when he go re-up with Poppy. If you got ears to hear, you understand.
Community from the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. From the way they dress to the way they act and present themselves. They are so elegant and sophisticated, even when they lived in such dehumanizing conditions and were surrounded by severe racism. They still did their best to make themselves presentable and walk with pride. You can see that by the way they walk, talk, stand, and sit. They look fresh and clean. They look so nice at a time when they were considered second-grade citizens. Now, we see men walking with saggy pants and women selling their bodies online, or simply posting pictures on social media to a point where you can see their underwear or chests out. Where did our pride go? Why do
Damn. Oh man. Let me bring out this preset. This is the book Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 1. How is the gold become dim? Right? How did our beautiful sisters become Tatianis? How did our beautiful sisters become stripper rappers? How did our beautiful sisters degrade themselves, have low self-esteem? We didn't know. How is the most fine gold change? How did our men turn into effeminate little boys? How did our men start being gangsters and drug dealers, right? And be incarcerated in prison at an all-time high? Reading on, the stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street, right? Nobody cares about us no more. We're not gold no more. We're like dirt. We like doodle, man. Let's continue.
do we let degenerate culture define us? Then we also see women and men disrespecting each other. From men being disrespectful or abusive to their girlfriends or the mother of their children, to women physically and emotionally abusing men. People are fighting each other in broad daylight. They are yelling and screaming behind closed doors. You can just look at the younger generation today and tell that they have no idea what real love is supposed to feel like.
Damn, that was heavy, right? You got domestic violence, brothers fighting against brothers, sisters fighting against sisters, sisters fighting against the brothers, man fighting against his woman fighting against his man, the families having a big brawl. This is all a curse. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54, right? Or 50, so like 54, right? We're gonna start at verse 54. Yeah. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, right? This is a curse. And toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Right? This is the Black and Hispanic community, man. Hatreds, right? Malice, right? Because of pride, right? Because of selfishness, right? Because of anger. Reading on. I'm gonna just jump down to verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which shall not have a venture to set a sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, not a sisters in a strip club, shaking her stank behind. Right? She don't see herself as a princess no more. She see herself as a sexual object. I gotta go down to Miami and get my body done so I could get many likes on Instagram, many followers. Right? I need me a baller that loves me for my fake body. Reading on. Her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom. Why? Because he a broke nigga now. She want a real nigga with money now. So quote unquote. She don't want to build, right? Where her high school sweetheart, or a brother that truly, genuinely cares about her, right? She's chasing the dollar, right? And toward her son and toward her daughter. And this is our people, man. Let's get back to it.
How healthy people should react or how they should be treated. Instead, they feed onto this toxicity and have little to no things to look forward to in the future. Women are constantly being sexualized. Children grow up watching this and want to go out looking like this. For many women, this is a form of self-expression. But whenever they do dress highly provocatively in public, they end up attracting the wrong attention. What children see, they imitate. So it's no wonder why we see so many young people glorifying criminal behavior. They see it everywhere. In the neighborhood they live in, the music they listen to, and the TV shows they watch. This brings us to another problem which is highly prevalent in the Black community. This problem is so big, it can cost someone their life. This is the no snitch mentality. This is happening everywhere, and it is feeding into the criminal mentality. So many people see snitching as something that is morally wrong. But in reality, the only way to get justice for someone is to keep people safe, keeping the community safe, not try to cover up for abuse, corruption, murder, rape, molestation, grooming, and so on. So many are abused and molested by family members or friends of the family that in some cases, it is better to keep quiet than to do something about it. It requires a lot of social complicity. If someone from the family gets caught, it reflects poorly on the rest of the family that made it possible in the first place. But it can also open up a lot of dirty secrets. So it becomes this crime protected by silent cohesion. Then we say the police always come too late. Many people live by this street code. I know who did it, but I won't tell the police. Now, let me make this clear. It is completely understandable to want to stay safe when you are afraid of what reporting someone can do to your life. If you might be in danger, then it is better to stay quiet. But when you have too much crime in one area and the entire community suffers, that's when we start to see a problem. Look at this. Lowe's put a full cage because people were stealing too much. So instead of just making a 20-minute trip to the store, you have to spend at least an hour getting the things you need. There are many local Home Depots that are full of cages. Even going to the Walgreens pharmacies and CVS pharmacies takes forever. If you want to buy something simple, like a bar of soap, you have to wait in lines or ring a bell or something just so they will come and serve you. Not only are these stores understaffed, but the workers are also overwhelmed because of the sheer amount of robberies and thefts that are happening everywhere. People steal so much that store owners have to lock everything up, and this is affecting entire communities. Everyone who can't afford something can try to steal it. People just come in with their backpacks and get whatever they need from the aisles and run. Store owners and onlookers can do nothing about it. Just look at how these people are robbing a Nike store. It looks like a free-for-all.
Seeing at other major LA malls. Chief Michael Moore tweeted today that there were two other reasons.
Right. So this thieving, this robbery is because of covetousness. And that's what our people is plagued with, covetousness. Strong desires that have this material things that have food, right? Things that they can't really afford because we're a cursed people. We're a poor people, right? But if we put as much energy and time for us to even think of a scheme, think of a robbery plan into looking for a job, right? A part-time job, right? Something, right? We'd be well off. But this is what this is what we come to, man. Right? A nation of robbers, nation of thieves. We become just like the damn white man, right? He steals and robs and destroys everything, right? We have a drunken, that spiritual Babylon, Egyptian, Edomite juice, man. We become him instead of becoming like the Most High God, man. We have chosen death rather than life.
Some people will say they are stealing for survival. I get that. I have 100% more sympathy for those who steal food or water because they can't afford it. Not everyone has a roof over their head or a warm bed, and that is completely understandable. But when we see people robbing a Nike store, stealing cosmetics, a Bud Light, pliers, this is not a necessity. There is no excuse for bad behavior. It is absolutely mind-blowing how fast people turn to stealing and how big of an impact this can have on law-abiding citizens. They keep stealing and stealing, causing a lot of business owners to lose a ton of money. Sometimes these losses can be so substantial that owners have to close shop. And in many of these cases, the owners live in that community. They are a part of the same community which is trying to destroy their livelihoods. Again, this is a small percentage of people. Not everyone is like that, eager to steal. But the behavior has become so common that it is difficult to overlook. Both younger and older people have been caught stealing. This kind of mindset stems from toxic and negative influences, which are highly present in the hood. People are being fed these things, that luxury is good and stealing is easy money, that they become a product of their environment. But then when they pick the wrong store to rob and the store owner takes out a gun, we all know how that ends. Cases like these are all too common and end very badly. However, when people live in crime-infested neighborhoods, the no-snitch code becomes a basic code of survival. So even if people know who stole or shot a person, they won't trust that the police are going to protect them. They can't practically do so because they don't have the manpower to do it. For example,
most people have no idea that.
Salakia. But yeah, fair use. Put it up again, fair use. So we become the product of our environment, right? Let's continue.
dealer or gangster can have your family killed. Even things associated with petty crime can end up getting someone hurt. Also, the fact that law enforcement focuses on punishment and not rehabilitation or crime prevention, being a snitch won't let you help anyone. It just makes things worse for them. And if you've lived in these poor areas, then you can understand where they are coming from. So you decide to back down. The police, on the other hand, especially among the Black community, are seen as dangerous. That's because they tend to harass people of color, especially in crime-ridden neighborhoods. If you snitch, you risk being shunned. Nobody will trust you after that. The police may even make you an informant, and the more people you lose, the sooner you realize just how quickly you put your life at risk. So the best thing is to just forget about it, ignore it, and lay low. Here is another problem we need to talk about: Black Lives Matter. Check.
Before we hop into this, right? Let me get a precept real quick. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 7, verse 8. Behold, ye trust in lying words that cannot profit. Verse 8. Will you steal, murder, and commit adultery, and swear falsely, and burn incense unto Baal, and walk after other gods whom you know not? And this is the state of our people. Stealers, thieves, murderers, right? Haters, they commit adultery, fornicators, they swear falsely, right? They serve other gods. They serve themselves. They really serving Hashatan, man. Satan, right?
This out. After raising $90 million in 2020, Black Lives Matter has $42 million in assets. Where is that money? What has changed? Yes, we have seen some improvements over the years, but how far have we come from breaking the stereotypes about Black men and women in general?
Do Black lives really matter when we killing ourselves? Oh, let me bring out this stat. Check this out. Black victims. Approximately 90% of Black people killed are killed by other Black people. I'm going to read it again. Approximately 90% of Black people killed are killed by other Black people. Y'all meditate on that while I bring out this precept. %. This is madness. It's sick. All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 21. How is the faithful city become an harlot? Right? Spiritually, we become harlots. We have abandoned the Most High. He's our husband. Now we basically made the so-called Caucasian man, because he runs the world, right? He's become our husband. He's become our God. Read it on. It was full of judgment, righteousness lodged in it, but now murderers. 90% of Black people are killed by other Black people. You can't make this shit up. Excuse my language. Let's continue. So does Black lives really matter? Or only matters when damn Billy Bob and Jimbo shooters in the street? No need to matter when Raheem kills Ray Ray.
I'm talking about the stereotypes against Black men being bad fathers, abandoning their kids, and having a bunch of different baby mamas. We can see how these stereotypes have reflected on the younger generation and how these men turn out to be. There are so many Black women who raise their kids all by themselves, and as Black men, more have to step up and be there for their kids. This is the only way to break the cycle, to break the stereotypes that all Black men are terrible fathers. By being there for their children, they can instill values in the child's mind so that the child can grow up and do something different, have a family of their own, a healthy home, and a healthy relationship dynamic. Because of the way things are going right now, we can only see this getting worse. Based on data from the American Community Survey, Black children who grew up in single-parent households are about 3.5 times more likely to keep living in poverty compared to Black children who were raised by both parents in an intact marriage. The thing is, we also see a lot of Black mothers becoming single parents by choice, having to deal with high divorce rates and traditional constraints of marriage. A lot of women decide to parent alone and enjoy it. Of course, there are many cases where a marriage can fail, whether it has to do with cheating, abuse, different goals in life, or anything else.
Calm, right? So check this out. I have more stats, right? Designs Elite stats. Children with fathers who are involved are 40% less likely to repeat a grade in school. All right? I'll read it again. Children with fathers who are involved, right, are 40% less likely to repeat a grade in school. That means they studying, they doing their homework, right? They doing things they have to do to graduate and to move up to the next level, right? Another point. Children with fathers who are involved are 70% less likely to drop out of school. Read it again. Children with their fathers in the household, fathers that are, involved, are 70% less likely to drop out of school. Another point. Children with fathers who are involved are more likely to get A's in school. Right? Children with fathers who are involved are more likely to enjoy school and engage in extracurricular activities. Okay? Last point. 75% of all adolescent patients in chemical abuse centers come from fatherless homes. That's 10 times the average. 75% of all adolescent patients and chemical abuse centers. What is chemical abuse centers? That could be drugs, and that could be like liquor, things like that, pills. So 75% of all adolescent patients in chemical abuse centers come from fatherless homes. So with that being said, it's important that the men are in the households. The men are in their children's lives. And that's what plagues our community, single households, right? The men not being there, right? And that's part of crafty counsel, and that's part of men not want to be men. They still want to be unresponsible, unreliable, right? They still want to have fun. They don't want to get to business. They don't want to stand on manfully like our forefathers did, right? Let's continue.
But what matters here is how we raise our children to value life. It is time for the Black community to reform and start valuing family, education, hard work, and good health. The truth is that Black people don't have a community. We do, but it is divided. That's because it may sound harsh, but the fact is, a lot of Black people hate one another. And this is a growing problem.
Let me make one more point about the fathers in the household. Fathers factor in incarceration, right? Even after controlling for income, youth and father-absent households still have significantly higher odds of incarceration than those in mother-father families. Youth who never had a father in the household experience the highest odds of being incarcerated because there's no discipline, right? In 2002, right? This is a few years back, but imagine it now, right? With all the wicked inventions and devices that has been, given to us since then. The Department of Justice survey of 7,000 inmates revealed that 39% of jail inmates lived in mother-only households. So 40% of our men that's in jail came from single mother households. Let's continue.
You see, a lot of Black people expect to see racism outside their circle. You go to work and interact with a lot of different people. So at one point in time, some form of racism is going to show itself. But imagine coming back to your own community and seeing the same form of hatred there as well, just from a different perspective. So you go to work, fight a war there, then you come back home and fight another war. Why would people want to go through the same thing over and over again? Because we see a lot of Black people hating each other. It is just heartbreaking. There are many reasons people hate each other, but a lot of times it has to do with insecurity, toxicity, comparison, and jealousy. Think about it.
You see that? We hate each other because of insecurity. We don't know that we the Most High's chosen, and that we all a family. Right? Continue.
Years of generational trauma, jealousy, and constant comparison have been so
jealousy, envy, right?
Engraved in the child's mind that so many children have grown up with serious negative energy that has been passed on from generation to generation. It is the envy that is destroying the Black community. When people see their brothers, sisters, cousins, or friends doing better than them, it starts to hurt their egos. There's
right. And one thing that we need to learn is everybody eats, B. Why we all can't just get along, right? Why do we have this crabs in the barrel mentality? Why are you trying to be better than somebody and then I won't watch my words, but why you don't want to better your brother, better your sister? Why you got to talk down and not help them, right? If you're successful, help your next brother or sister be successful, so we all could be successful. We could all be this thriving, successful, right? Family, man. Gotta stop the jealousy, gotta stop the envy, gotta stop the hatred, right? Gotta stop the covetousness, right? Let's continue.
Clearly a lack of resilience. Instead of helping each other and supporting one another, we can see that many people from the community become enemies. This creates a serious division. It is self-destructive behavior. So those who've managed to succeed in life learn when to walk away. They learn how to deal with certain people and situations. That's because some people don't want to see their friends or relatives succeed.
Right? And we got to understand that most of these gangbangers, these criminals, they believe in God, right? Let's get a precept. Right? You could most of these they Christians or Muslims, right? Or they believe in some type of higher power. And that's a fact. And if they don't believe in God, right, they still believe in, they know it's something up there. And you know, for all you teachers out on the street, you know this. This is the book of 1 John chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God and hate his brother, he is a liar. For he that love not his brother whom he have seen, how can he love God whom he have not seen? Verse 21, and this commandment have we from him, that he who love God, love his brother also. And that's heavy right there. That's just, y'all meditate on that, man. That don't need to be broken down, man. Let's continue.
This is 2024 and it is still happening.
Please. Next thing you know, they'll be talking a whole bunch of shh about you. Oh man, he think he better than such and such and such. He think he's better than us.
There are so many black people nowadays who haven't learned the trait.
Right. Why our people love doing that? Just talking smack, just talking ish, man. Behind your back. Right? Slurring your name. Give me your reputation a bad rep. Because what? Because you drive a nice car. You got a good paying job. Your women look good. Right? You live in a nice neighborhood. Your children is well dressed, well fed. Won't you approach that brother and ask him how he got right? You learn how he got right so you could get right. Right? And that's another thing. Our people lack educational or educated, uplifting communication, man. We don't encourage each other. What we do is encourage each other to roll up a blunt, pop a bottle, hit the club, have sex with multiple women. That's what we encourage our people to do.
Of being genuinely proud of someone else and their achievements. Instead, comparison and envy become their biggest thief of joy. When someone else excels at something, they see it as a threat, like some kind of problem that has to be dealt with. To overcome this, we have to look at one another on a soul level, not how much money we make, our race, or diploma. We just need to treat people with respect and stop focusing so much on external factors that don't have any real substance. Poverty can indeed create such a division, but to stop it, we need to understand it. Other people's success can make you feel insecure. It can make you think about all your failures, mistakes, and shortcomings. Unfortunately, our society teaches us to value status, possessions, and money. It is making
you see that, right? Our people value status, possession, and money. Status, you want to be the big dog. You want to be ahead. NIC. You want to be money making match. You want to be big meat, quote unquote. Right? You want status. You want possessions. You want the flyest car. You want the flyest clothes. You want the biggest house. You want the biggest guns. You want the best drugs. You want the. Oh, man. Our people are destroyed, man. What happened to want to be righteous? What happened to want to be a good role model? What happened to you wanted to live like a king? What happened to you want to live like a princess? Right? What happened to you want to be a good person inside with integrity, with honesty? Somebody that somebody could trust, right? Being a light to the world, a pillar in the community, right? But nah. You want to live, you want to speak death, you want to Living death, you your actions is all about evil, death, and wickedness. This the Salakia. This the book of Deuteronomy. Bear with me. I think I want Salakia. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, chapter 11. Verse 26. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. All right, a blessing to value life, to have life, to be prosper, to have success in your life, right? Or you want to be cursed, right? You want to live in death. You want to live in filth. You want to move wickedly. You want to be an evil-minded person, right? You want to move as a child of Satan. So you choose a blessing or a curse, life or death. Read it on. Verse 27, a blessing if you obey the commandments of Yahweh, your power, which I command you this day. And that's what our people have not done. Obey the commandments of the Lord. And we could blame the damn Sunday churches for that, right? You could blame the damn Muslim teachers for that, right? Because they don't teach no commandments. Read it on. And they curse if you will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God. And that's what our people is. We're cursed. We don't value life. We value things that does not profit. Read it on. But turn aside out of the way, which I command you this day, to go after other gods which you have not known, right? Our people is all in types of idolatry, right? They love themselves, right? They only care about themselves, and they'll do anything to get what they want. Just like the video was going into. We become scammers, thieves, drug pushers, gun sellers. We don't want to go to school. We want to skip school, right? Go and go freak off somewhere. We don't want to work. We'll call out of work just to binge watch TV, man. It's just being lazy. And this is our people, man. Right? But there are solutions, man, to gaining this life. Right? This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God. And that's what our people don't do. They don't read. Let me share my screen. Salakia. This is I'm reading again, Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God. Hold on, let me look at a stat right now. Because our people hate to read. What's so hard to read at least one chapter a day? One you brothers don't even. You only read Facebook posts, Instagram posts, man. Pick up a book and put down the weed. I'm about to go on a rant, man. I need to chill. Campus tomorrow. Through the spirit. All praise to the Most High. But let me look up the stat with me. Bear with me real quick. All right. Okay. Bear with me. Oh my gosh. All right, check this out. The literacy rates, right? Reading comprehension, writing comprehension rates among Black students in the United States are deeply concerning, right? 84% of Black students lack proficiency in mathematics, right? And 85% lack proficiency in reading skills. This is terrible, right? This is terrible. 85% of our students in the United States lack proficiency in reading skills. They probably can't read more than a 4th grade level. Just the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God. And I see why we don't keep the commandments, because we don't read the book. We can't read. Reading on, in the Lord that endure forever. All that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Right? This is all a problem for us, man. If we can't read, that means we won't pick up the book to read it. That means we won't read the commandments, the wisdom that's in it. That means we will stay in death. We won't come alive spiritually. And this is the problem with our people, but we got solutions. We got solutions, right? This is the book of Acts. The book of Acts. You're in the classic, man. Acts chapter 3, verse 19. Repent, right? Turn from your sins, ye therefore, and be converted. Change, that your sins may be blotted out when the times of refreshing shall come from the presence of the Lord. So the point I wanted to bring out is be converted. Let's look up this word converted. Let's look up this word converted. Here we go.
Convert.
Convert. Cause to change in form, character, or function. Change or able to change from one form to another, right? Change from one form, that form of death and evil and sin and wickedness and devilishness, to another, live godly in this present world, right? Similars, change, turn, transform, right? Remodel, refashion, rework, reshape. See that? Change into, right? We need to change for the better, change for your children, change for yourself, right? All right, I'm gonna bring out this couple more precepts, then I'm gonna close it out. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 18, verse 30. Oh, I'm going to start at verse 29. Right? He say, the house of Israel, the way of the Lord is not equal. O house of Israel, are not my ways equal? Are not your ways unequal? Right? So basically, the Lord is saying, man, I woke you up this morning. I gave you life. I gave you opportunity to get yourself together. I give you chance after chance, right? But you still don't believe in me, because believe is an action word. If you believe in the Lord, you're going to take heed to the commandments, right? If you have faith in the Lord, you're going to do the works. You're going to show yourself. You're going to prove yourself that you are a worthy child of the Most High God. Verse 30, therefore I will judge you, O house of Israel, every one according to his ways, saith the Lord God. Right? Here's the point. Repent and turn yourselves from all your transgressions, so iniquity shall not be your ruin. We ruin ourselves. We ruin our own communities. Right? We're going downward. We're not going upward, man. We're not changing for the better, man. And the leaders in our communities, the role models, is not helping at all. The damn pastors, right? The damn entertainers, right? Added on to the poor education, added on to the bad foods we eat, man. The corrupt political system, right? These false religions, these false philosophers and doctrines, man. That's all on YouTube and TikTok. We're destroying ourselves. Verse 31, cast away from all your transgressions, whereby you have transgressed, and make you a new heart and a new spirit. And that's the point right there. Make you a new mind. Get your mind right. And a new spirit. Here we go. For reading on, for why will you die, O house of Israel? Why you want to die, man? Why you want to be a walking zombie? Why do you want to be a zombie, Israel? Let me get this last precept. It's the book of Proverbs. Chapter 4. I'm gonna start from the top. Right? Because, right, us people, we have to understand that the Most High is our Heavenly Father, right? He's merciful, right? He's very pitiful, right? Right? And he chose us to be his chosen people. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 1, but we have to do something in return. Hear ye children, the instruction of a father, and attend to no understanding. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. For I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother. Here's the point, verse 4. He told me also and said unto me, let thy heart retain my words, keep my commandments, and live, right? That's all we have to do, right? As a family, as a people, right? As a nation of kings and priests, as a nation of princesses, man, that birthed these gods. We have to keep these commandments and live, man. Or it's not going to get any better. We're going full force, head on, doing 200 miles per hour into death, destruction. Right? So with that, I want to give all honor and glory and praise to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Does the Black community value life? We don't at all, but we're gonna pray for our people. The prophets is gonna continue to hit these streets, corners, these hoods, these events, these chief street, places of concord. And we're gonna prophesy to our people. We're gonna teach our people. We're gonna bid our people, plead to our people to choose life rather than death in these last days, man. And with that, I say shalom.